Welcome to the second episode in a Legendarium series about the history of Halloween treats. In this installment about caramel, we will talk about the 1,000-year history of the creamy treat. There are many confections available to satisfy a sweet tooth, but one that melts the hearts of many is rich and creamy caramel. It can be enjoyed on its own or paired with other ingredients to create a delicious delight. Caramel is a candy staple in the United States and abroad, but few know that its history dates back to the year 950 AD, when the Arabs invented caramel by crystallizing sugar in boiling water. This created a hard and crunchy treat. It would not be until centuries later that sugar, the key ingredient in making caramel, came to Europe in great quantities. The word caramel first appears in the English language in 1725. Its roots are from the French and Spanish word caramello. Most likely that comes from the late Latin word calamellus, which means sugarcane. Indeed, sugar first became available to Europeans in great amounts during the 16th century. Tudor aristocrats would take cone-shaped pieces of sugar and have their servants shape and color them to resemble staple foods like eggs and bacon. However, American settlers made their sugar treats by boiling sugar in copper kettles, and they needed a lot of heat. Sugar starts to melt at about 135 degrees Celsius or 270 degrees Fahrenheit without changing its color. The process called caramelization starts when sugar is heated to at least 150 degrees Celsius or 300 degrees Fahrenheit. As the sugar heats, the molecules break down and reform into compounds with a characteristic color and flavor. Caramels vary in consistency between the short and soft or the long and more chewy types, depending upon the proportions of ingredients. Caramels became a candy staple for many years because they used affordable and available ingredients, could be made easily at home, and had a long shelf life. Between 1650 and 1800, some ingenious American candy makers began adding fat and milk while boiling the sugar and water, creating what is now known as caramel candy. By the mid-1800s, nearly 400 American candy manufacturers produced hard caramels, often sold in general stores. People jumped readily into caramel making because they could be made cheaply, were easy to transport, and did not spoil easily. Of course, given the character of industrial America, it would only be a matter of time before a titan of caramel swept aside the smaller manufacturers. Milton Hershey was born in 1857 in Pennsylvania, and rather than become a printer, at the age of 14, Milton discovered a passion for candy making. He spent the next 4 years as an apprentice for master confectioner Joseph Royer in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. After 4 years of learning the trade, Milton moved to Philadelphia in 1876 to start his first candy business, which unfortunately ended in bankruptcy. In 1882, Milton traveled to Denver and learned to make caramels with fresh milk. The very next year, he returned home to Lancaster, Pennsylvania, and began selling homemade caramels from a pushcart. Just 3 years later, he founded his first successful confectionery business, the Lancaster Caramel Company. The Lancaster Caramel Company in Pennsylvania shipped caramels across the United States and to Europe, which caused the candy's popularity to skyrocket like never before. The Lancaster Caramel Company established Hershey's reputation in the confectionery industry and provided the foundation for the launch of the iconic Hershey Chocolate Company in 1894. This firm first produced sweet chocolate as a coating for Hershey's caramels before it created the iconic Hershey's Milk Chocolate Bar. A century later, the company reimagined the original recipe with Lancaster caramel soft creams. These new caramels are carefully crafted to ensure a rich and creamy sensation. Available in caramel, vanilla, raspberry flavors, these new confections offered a new twist on a timeless treat. Today, caramel has two main ingredients, milk and sugar. When heated together, the milk makes the caramel soft and creamy. Many candies and desserts are made with caramel, including caramel apples, pralines, nougats, brittles, creme caramel, and creme brulee. Caramel candy is a soft, dense, and chewy candy made by boiling a mixture of milk or cream, sugar, butter, and vanilla flavoring. Caramel sauce is made by mixing caramelized sugar with cream, sometimes with additional ingredients like butter, fruit purees, liquors, or vanilla. The sauce is used in a variety of desserts, especially as a topping for ice cream. Caramel is such a beloved treat in the United States that each year on April 5th, people celebrate National Caramel Day, continuing the tradition of a treat which dates back 1,000 years. That wraps things up for this episode of The Legendarium. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, press like. If you want to see more, press subscribe. And if you've got anything to say, let me know in the comments section. Thanks again for joining me, and I hope that you have a great rest of the day.